Welcome.
Welcome back to another episode of the Fallbar Baseball Show. We have a special guest today, just about the best guy that you could have
Extremely special.
on an episode. It's Quinn Blackman from Manasquan, New Jersey.
How you guys doing?
We're great.
How you guys doing?
How are you
I'm
doing?
great.
I'm pumped.
Yeah.
So
I'm pumped to be
No,
here.
this is a real treat for us.
This is I'm just grateful.
Yeah.
Grateful for the opportunity. Excited to talk ball.
Right. Why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, Quinn?
Yeah. I'm a little older than these guys, but I'm a fellow Rhodes College Lynx.
Yep.
From Manasquan, New Jersey. Avid Phillies fan. That's pretty much all I got. Just the basics.
Yeah. We'll let you say your piece and ramble a little bit
Okay.
in a little bit, but we have some huge contract
Breaking
extension news.
Okay.
Last night, Blue Jays first baseman Vladimir Guerrero Jr. got re-upped for 14 years and 500 million United States dollars.
And suddenly the Juan Soto deal doesn't look as bad.
Yeah. Well,
As bad.
no, this is a good deal. I'm gonna look up. Let me get the calculator app up here.
How old is he?
26, maybe. I don't know. I don't like saying that and not knowing.
Yeah.
14 years.
Mhm.
26. It's gonna be. Is that right?
He's a young 26 too. For what it's worth.
What did he turn 26? Like
March 16th.
Oh, he just turned 26.
Wow.
That's worth something.
Happy birthday.
The AAV is 35.7 million.
Yeah, that's
Which-
pretty good. I expected that to be higher, honestly.
Honestly, this is not bad for the Blue Jays.
No,
We
not at
knew
all.
that he liked it there.
Right.
We knew that he liked it there. The only thing was like they haven't really won,
Right.
and they're not really in a position to win because their farm system's kind of trash.
And they almost seemed reluctant to give him this deal.
Yeah.
Despite
Yeah.
every big free agent over the past two off seasons being rumored to Toronto
Right.
for a ridiculous amount of money, yet their
Right.
best homegrown player in however long they didn't want to pay.
Right.
So I'm happy for the guy. I'm happy
Me
for
too.
him.
I'm happy for the Blue Jays too because they were finalists on Shohei. They were finalists on Soto.
Yeah.
They talked to Judge. They talked to, it seems like, basically everyone.
And if Guerrero hit the market, he would have been the next one. So, like,
He would have just
I
been
mean-
on the list of guys that got away from the Blue Jays' grasp.
right.
I mean, the 6 is a cool place.
No, yeah, I've been.
Yeah.
I've been once. They got a cool yard up there too.
They do.
It's neat.
Did you stay in the hotel?
Stayed in the
The
hotel.
hotel's awesome.
Yeah, stayed in the hotel.
So lit.
The hotel's so
um,
cool.
I mean, the renovations only made it cooler.
Right, they made it a little better.
Because they got a sweet backdrop. They got the CN Tower right there.
What color's the CN Tower?
It depends. It depends how Drizzy's feeling.
Yeah.
So yeah, Vladdy, who was going to be, I guess, one of the two crown jewels of this offseason market, that's not happening. This is maybe not so bad for Kyle Tucker because people's Vladdy money is going to go into the Kyle Tucker gargantuan contract.
Well, this is about what Kyle Tucker's projected contract was going to look like.
Yeah,
You know, maybe less years, maybe like 10 years, because I believe he's like 28.
I think he's older too.
Maybe 29. But
Kyle Tucker might be getting more money per year
yeah,
if he keeps this up.
Yeah, I mean,
but he'll
torrid pace to start.
Yeah, it's
start
been
the year.
insane.
I mean, yeah, through 12 games, he's got a 1 WAR through 12 games.
Yeah, that's good.
It's pretty good for what it's worth in a small sample
He's
size.
he's already accumulated one
WAR,
win above
one
replacement.
win above replacement through 12.
That's
games.
hard to do.
Um,
That's hard to do. So yeah, he's not extended yet. I bet he won't let himself get extended.
No, and he should. You know, because I don't know. I wonder if what his situation was in Houston, if he actually wanted to get out of town.
Yeah, I think that
or
was more of a
organizational
yeah.
decision. I also wonder if he had any say in his destination, and not that I'm knocking the Chicago Cubs because they're one of the best organizations in baseball.
Right.
But just for the guy himself, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
it's kind of the perfect fit, though, I feel like. Like I don't know where
Yeah.
if he like grew up like anywhere close, but like
Right.
it kind of like
It says
fits the
it'll
mold.
say on there.
Say he's a
Give him that drop down menu. Yeah. It'll tell you what
Was
he
he
was
on
born.
good
No,
old
he's a Tampa
baseball
kid.
reference? Tampa.
Well,
that
he's
kinda
probably
checks.
not going to sign with the Rays.
Quinn
or the
High School. No,
Marlins.
he's not going to sign with the Rays.
Oh no, probably not.
I wouldn't sign with the Rays.
No, not me. If I was going to make that much money.
Yeah,
So the Sox.
I was just about to go there. Yeah,
So Garrett Crochet
Crochet
has been re-upped for 6 years and $170 million. We saw this move once before. It's looking eerily similar to the Chris Sale extension, in which for 2 years he was the best pitcher on planet Earth, and then for 4 years he was never on the baseball field.
Yeah,
Crochet, we've talked about this with Crochet before. There's no like body of work as a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
There's like 130 innings last season of it. But all of the peripherals on him are just insane.
yeah.
So if he can sustain it, then this looks to be a really good contract.
He is like, I mean, basically what you get out of this is you get the Max Fried deal for 6 years
Yeah,
instead
it's 2
of
less years.
8, and I think that's huge because he's younger than Fried, I believe.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And
Crochet's like 26.
okay, yeah, way younger, and he's a little bit more injury prone, but you can avoid those injuries for at least 5 of the 6 years of this contract. Now, if this was an 8 or 9 year deal, then you're looking at
Could get shaky.
3
towards the end.
years missing time, maybe. Like you're really throwing a lot of risk in there. So
Also, something they're doing in front offices is they're kind of wanting guys that have their big elbow injuries out of the way already,
yeah,
because the recovery and the medicals are so good after your first surgery. I mean, I think he's had at least one Tommy John.
yeah, he
Yeah,
does have one.
2022.
Like sometimes it's better to get a guy that's already gone through that than not, because it's sad, but in our game it kind of seems like it's just gonna happen with everyone at some point.
Yeah, no, and that was in Phillies camp this spring. That was a big topic of conversation with Andrew Painter,
Yeah.
because the longest tenured Philly at this point's Aaron Nola. He's been with the Phils for 10 years, and he had Tommy John in 2014 and hasn't had any
Right.
elbow problems since. So I think that's definitely a big factor, and that's kind of, yeah, like you were saying, how getting the surgery out of the way almost is the way to go, which is unfortunate, but it's just kind of the reality of pitchers and just the
Right.
modern
Yeah.
The way
player.
that it goes.
There's also a lot of guys where it's like, based on the way they throw, it's bound to happen.
Right.
And, like, you kind of don't want it to happen, but then when it does, you're like, okay, let's make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Right.
And so there's, like, a couple mechanical tweaks that you can kind of figure out with the old arm path and with all those fancy technology things that they got going on over there. And,
I mean, they have the best resources possible to
Yeah.
prevent it,
yeah.
and I mean it still happens. So it's
Yeah.
a little bit of an epidemic. But I like Garrett. He was pretty good last week.
Good
I
for
hope he's
Garrett.
pretty
Good
good.
stuff.
Yeah,
Throws pretty hard.
yeah, that was pretty hard. Red Sox play the Blue Jays this week, actually.
Wow.
So there will be some rich men. I think on Wednesday, Garrett pitches. There'll be some rich men facing off.
Yeah.
Christian Campbell,
I was just about to pivot there,
8
too.
years, $60 million with 2 club options for year 9 and year 10.
Yeah.
It's going
Wow.
to take it from, I think, 60 to 100 million. The kid's been good.
I mean,
that's
the
such a
kid's
good
been good.
deal.
I mean, yeah, through however many games, 12 games, 13 games.
We've played 10.
10 games for
Yeah.
the Sox. This looks like it could be in the conversation with that Acuna deal.
Right.
yeah.
Just highway robbery.
Yeah.
Honestly. Because I don't want to, I mean, I feel drawn to the obvious comparison that Christian Campbell reminds me a lot of a young Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
Uber athletic.
He's been playing second. He's been playing left. He played center field yesterday afternoon.
Kind of a Mr. Do-It-All. He's a little wiry.
Yeah, that wiry strength that
He's-
they talk
yeah,
about.
he's a little wiry. And I don't know. I don't know. I think he's got a bright future.
Yeah.
His bat to ball skills are clearly
That's been my favorite part about him so far is like he can pull this inside pitch. If he's late on the inside pitch, he can do something with it to right.
Yeah.
He can get a hit to right with it. He can do well. He's not rolling over on the outside pitch. He's running. He's walking a good bit. He's off to a fantastic start. It's good that they got this deal done early because if they did it in a month from now, it would be almost 2 times as expensive.
Seriously. Yeah, and I mean, I think it's also good for, it's good for the kid.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I've seen the Phillies try and do something like this with Scott Kingery, and that just did not work out.
Yeah.
Or the White Sox with Eloy Jimenez signing him to all that money, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's obviously a bold move, like 3 games into his big league career, signing him. But I think it's the type of player you want to have under your control.
Yeah.
Do you want to go rapid fire for the
Yeah, let's
last
go
few?
rapid fire. These aren't like that sexy.
Yeah. Tomarte, 6 years, $116 million.
He's a beast. That'll take him.
That's another steal, honestly.
But it'll
He's
take
so
him.
good.
It'll take him till he's like 34.
Right.
I mean, at the end, it's less than $20 million AAV for a
Right.
guy that was 3rd or 4th in MVP voting last year.
Yeah, and
And
would
with
have been first. If
The
he-
eternally best MLB The Show card.
yeah.
Seriously.
Ever.
Best MLB The Show player.
Ever.
Is he because he's playing 2nd, 3rd, short,
With
all
diamond,
3 outfield positions?
diamond
Yeah.
defense.
Switch hitter.
Switch hitter.
Switch hitter, hits nukes. Like
a glitchy PCI.
yeah, and then
It's
just boom, right through the zone. Just beautiful. Cal Raleigh, nice. One of 400 hitters that the Mariners need.
Great catcher.
Great catcher.
Great catcher. Lawrence Butler, 7 years, $65 million. And Brent Rooker, 5 years, $60.
Those are good deals.
Great deals there. I
They
mean,
buy
goodness.
out. They buy out some of their free agent years. Pay them a little more money up front. But I mean, we're going to Vegas.
We're going
so
to Vegas. Yeah, they can. I mean,
Lawrence Butler's going to rock it in Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, the ownership probably was going to put the 65.5 on black.
Right.
Once they got there. So.
All right, Q.
Yeah, no.
Give me something here.
Yeah.
I mean,
What have you been thinking about so far?
I've been. I'm not gonna go to the Phillies just yet.
Okay.
I have a point down here. It says hype up Jacob Wilson.
Okay. We're going to
because-
Vegas.
so good.
Because I don't know. I think it's a combination of kind of his like twitchy stance
Right.
with his just putting the ball in play, combined with going to Grand Canyon. That really just makes him someone I really want to root for.
Yeah.
And he just rakes.
Jacob Wilson on the Sacramento Athletics is off to a great start. 10 games, 351 batting average.
Jesus.
We are yet to walk. But
He hasn't walked yet.
He's only punched out twice though.
All right, sweet. He's slugging
He's
568.
only punched. What?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah,
That's
no,
so
it's-
fire though.
He's got a 0% walk rate and a 5.4% strikeout rate.
And guy just puts the ball in
Just
play.
obviously not sustainable, but this guy's just putting it in play.
Guy just puts the ball in play. Yeah, so I mean, that was really brief.
That's all you need.
But I mean, you watch the guy play. He's got the high pants. He's got the eye black. He's got the cheddar coming out of the hat. I mean, he just looks like a ball player. And
Yeah.
I mean, those are the types of guys you want on your team. Maybe not a guy that has a 0% walk rate on your team.
He's not striking out though.
But he's not
He's
striking
making
out.
something happen.
He's making something happen. I mean, this is
Force
just,
the defense to make
I mean,
plays.
he's just seems to just to be a pure hitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean,
The A's have some players.
they do.
We were talking about
Yeah.
it last week. He kind of came in as the high man on the A's, and I was the low man, just mostly because of their pitching. But like,
And they have no pitching.
their position player group is coming together
Pretty
at
fun,
least
yeah.
a little bit, which is exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know I feel for the fans of Oakland. I think Oakland should always have a team. I think
I
they're
agree.
a great baseball city.
I agree.
But at the same time, I think that Vegas is going to work.
Yeah.
Personally, just from seeing how the Aviators fill out their park.
Yeah, seriously.
And it seems like people, I mean, that's just an area that loves ball.
And you want some exciting young ball players to kind of be the head of your move.
Right.
Like if this was the Mariners roster moving and they were scoring like no runs a game and they had the pitching, I think that would be worse than having a lineup where Jacob Wilson's always on base and then Lawrence Butler's cranking a bomb and flipping his bat over the Vegas sphere.
Yeah. Nah, I think they got a good bunch. Yeah, I mean, I'm really fired up about the Phils.
Okay. You just couldn't wait.
I couldn't wait.
No.
I mean, coming into the year, it was obviously a rough exit last postseason to
Go Mets.
So it was
Mark
tough.
Vientos.
It was tough. It was tough. I mean, coming into the season, I saw all the power rankings, and it had the Phillies at, number 2 or number 3 or a top 5 team. And I don't know, for some reason in the offseason, it might have been the Birds that kind of took away the excitement of the Phillies, but I almost didn't believe that they were going to be the second best team in baseball.
Yeah.
Because the lineup just disappeared in the postseason, and that was really my worry. Because you go out and get a guy like Luzardo, who has been phenomenal so far. So the pitching was going to be there. It's really the question is, can they hit? And so far they have, but it's just that's really the thing. I think that we're gonna have to monitor this outfield situation a little bit to see if the Kepler experiment works.
Do we know how that's going so far?
It's not going great.
You watch most of the games.
It's not going great, but
it's not going great.
It's really not going great.
It could be going worse.
It could be going worse, but he had a really good camp.
He's taking his walk. He's taking his walks.
He's taking his walks.
My God, is he ever?
He's in a hitter-friendly ballpark. But I don't know. I think that's something to monitor. I think that the wild card in this whole situation is Edmundo Sosa.
Baller. Drilled an umpire once.
Drilled an umpire with the Cards. We got him at 571 OBP with a 1.32 OPS, hitting 550.
It's not a bad start.
That's not bad.
He's going to have to learn how to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Has he ever played outfield?
They had him working on it this spring, and he came
into
he pinch hit in the second game against the Dodgers and went and played center.
I've got a game here at center, 3 at short, 1 at second, 1 at third.
I mean, he's a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah,
seemingly. I mean, you look at last year, in 250 at bats, he goes 250. He's slashing 257, 313, 735. Not great.
It's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Above league average.
But it's above league average, and for a guy that can play so many positions, and for a guy who isn't an everyday player, too, I think, 64 hits, seven pumps. It's with above average defense is nothing to complain about.
Yeah, no, that's a guy you want on your team. And also, if he's off to a hot start, and he's kind of hitting righties too.
If he's
hitting righties, clicked.
Everything's clicked. And really, he's just a gamer. That's the thing. He always brings energy. That's kind of why I love him. And a situation to monitor, I think, is the third base situation for the Philadelphia Phillies. I didn't want to say it.
Yeah.
But I think I'm at the point where I have to, because Alec Boehm needs to mature. And we all thought this offseason he was going to mature, and he still hasn't matured. It'll be the third inning of a 4-0 game. Phils are up. He'll ground out to end the inning, and it looks like the worst thing imaginable will happen to him. So that's something to monitor. I mean, it's crazy. A guy that had, was leading the league in doubles last year. I think he was hitting 50 doubles last year at the break.
Did he make an All-Star appearance last year?
He did. And one of the more cool second halves.
He had a good season. Really good first half. I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to go this way.
Yep.
Keep talking about Alcbom. Or not. I'm not going to sneeze. All I just need to do is
Yeah, get up and think about it.
just had a little tickle in my nose there.
A little hezzy.
I came in as the high man on the Phils
Yeah.
in comparison to Ryan.
Yeah.
And I look better than the
No,
guy
I mean,
who said
fair
the
enough. I
Braves
mean,
were going to be good.
you can't really be the high man on the Phils. It's
The thing about the Phils for me was it's kind of the same roster that just hasn't really done it.
right,
They've done it, but they haven't done it.
right. Get
Right.
over the hump.
And this team is like so good from top to bottom, but they're kind of the same team from last year. They added Kepler, which isn't like that great of an addition, but I didn't hate it at all. I kind of liked getting Johan Rojas out of the, day-to-day center field role. But it was the same team, and it's just aged another year, and it's like, all right, you're kind of getting this feel of like how many years can this go by, and how much longer is their window for a World Series. And for the Phillies, I think it's fine because they still have some young talent. They still have Stott in there who's 27. Marsh is 27, which I didn't even know that until looking at it right now. Bohm is 28. And then in their pitching, Sanchez is 28. Luzardo's 27. And then their bullpen has some younger guys in there. But bullpen age doesn't really matter that much. You can kind of go out and sign somebody. So, I still have them finishing second in the East. It was more because I attributed more wins into the Central divisions than I should have. But I couldn't put them over the Braves to begin with. But we'll talk about the Braves in a second. That's not looking like a great pick. But, yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, that was kind of like, I think why there's some of like my lackluster excitement coming into the season was because it is the same group. And I mean, they're not getting any younger.
Yeah.
The Harp is 31, Trey's 31 or 32. So they're all kind of in this this median age. Like Schwarber's 33, I think.
32, yeah.
32. Where they
Looks 38.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, I'll tell you what, God knows how to lean on one. If he
Oh
needs
my
to.
Yeah.
Get into one.
But yeah, no, it's they need to have a little sense of urgency, and I think the front
Now's the
office
time.
and ownership has really done a good job at making sure the players understand that, which is just about all you can do. So
Yeah. And it's kind of the same thing where it's like they're entering that age range where it's like, all right, which way are you going to go? Are you going to be the consistent veteran guy, or are you going to be the declining guy who loses all of his value within the next 3 years? So, But, I mean, based on how they look this year, they don't really look very beatable. So,
Yeah, they're off to a good start.
yeah, no, they're off to a good start. So, but it's a marathon.
yeah. Beating the Dodgers in a series is
that was fun.
pretty sweet.
That was
That's
fun.
pretty
That was
sweet.
fun.
What else do you have, Q? You got anything else?
I just taking a peek yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, what is going on in the NL West?
I see the Giants have lost just once.
Once.
Right.
The Giants have lost one game.
Yeah.
Giants have lost once.
The Giants have lost one game.
They're 8-1, and the Padres are 8-2.
What color's the sea?
It's. I mean,
Their whole lineup is just absolutely exploding.
my God.
San Francisco.
Yeah, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players with a WRC plus over 160. So that's probably why you're gonna win
8
a bunch of games. Yeah,
out of
8 out of 9.
to start the year. Yeah, that makes sense.
We kind of would say that we liked the Giants, but they were always just the little brother of this division.
Oh my God! Look at these
Right.
OPSs.
They have good players. See, look here, and it's not even Willie Adames.
What?
It's Luis Matos, it's Yaz, and then
Yes,
Chappie.
let's go.
Jung-Hoo Lee's off to a solid start. Wilmer Flores, Mets legend,
Dang.
and
Wilmer
Elliot,
Flores is like third in the league in home runs right now.
Elliot Ramos kind of popped last year. It's not sustainable here if you're the Giants to at
Right.
least this level, but when they won 100 games and won the NL West, that team came out of nowhere.
Right.
They might not have even been better than this team.
Right. I think the Giants, they have that kind of East Coast blue collar feel to them. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree.
And I feel like it's kind of always been like that. Like they obviously they've gone through their stars, but I think that their like quote unquote stars have just been really good players who fit what they're trying to do really well.
Yeah.
I think back to a Brandon Crawford.
Yeah.
A Brandon Crawford 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Who wasn't, but he doesn't have a silver slugger, does he?
He might have snuck one in just because he was
He,
around for
he
so
might have had
long.
one in 2021.
But he was never the best hitter. Like,
No, he's a career. What is he? He's a career.
a pretty average hitter.
Yeah, his OPS plus on his career is 96.
Right.
249, 147 pumps. But he just played the game hard. He played plus defense.
One silver slugger in
2021.
2015.
2015. And then you think back to some other guy. Like Buster Posey's.
He was the man.
He was the
Goat.
man. He's one of the greatest offensive catchers
Yeah.
I've seen.
Yeah. He's unbelievable.
I feel like the Giants of new kind of are just like they put this group together and they're professionals and they're kind of complete. They don't really have weaknesses. They're just like, we're going to go and post and we're going to play our
Right.
season and we're probably going to be somewhere around 500, maybe a little more. But if it clicks and we make the playoffs,
Yeah.
then it clicks and we make the playoffs.
Right.
And I think they're kind of just riding that high so far in the first week.
It's kind of reminiscent of that like 2021 season
Right,
when they
yeah,
competed with the
2021.
Dodgers, but like they weren't that talented.
No, the
like,
roster wasn't
across
very
the
good.
board, but they just clicked and they
Yeah.
just won everything and they grinded out wins and they beat the Dodgers out in the division
Yeah.
because they had 108 wins or something like that. Like
Yeah.
it was crazy.
And
you see that a
they
lot
play
this year.
clean. And this team's going to defend too. Defense
Yeah,
helps
great
you win.
defense.
Patrick,
Right.
Patrick Bailey's the best catcher
I
of
was just about-
baseballs.
I was just about to-
Right.
You got Willie Adames and Matt Chapman on the left side.
You ever just watch like Patrick Bailey just stick the ball?
It's
It's
one
like
of the most satisfying things.
it's
ever.
so awesome.
So here I have a question
Yeah.
about the Giants.
Yep.
How do you guys feel about the Giants handing out 7 years, $182 million to Willie Adames, who will then be still getting paid by the Giants when he is 36 years old?
It's kind of the price of doing business.
Yeah, a little bit.
They do it a little. They do it out of necessity a little bit because they've tried for the big fish. They tried for Arson Judge.
They tried.
They tried for Trey
Correa.
Turner. They tried. They had Correa, and then they decided they didn't want Correa, which honestly ended up looking like
Yeah,
the wise move.
Yeah.
I don't,
at
I
this
don't think
point.
anybody wants Carlos Correa on their team. right now.
I think Willie Adames kind of is who he is, and Matt Chapman is who he is a little bit too. Where like over the course of these contracts, those guys will have years where offensively they're no better than average.
Right.
Defensively, they almost every year they will be well above average. But there's a reason that this is a $26 million AAV and not a $40 million AAV.
Right.
Is you're getting a guy that's going to produce a lot of value, but won't always have it with the stick.
Right.
So
The thing about Adames too is like his value is not from putting up 40 pumps a year. It's more from like spraying the ball gap to gap. He'll put out like
Hitting
25,
doubles.
30, but he's got the glove. He's got a little bit of speed, but like not that much where it's like it's gonna crazily change his value within the next 5 years. So he's not one of those guys where you look at age as much of a risk factor unless it's like injury or something like
Right.
that. But
I'll tell you what, Willie Adames, a guy who has very blatantly taken advantage of the bigger bags and the 2 pickoff rule.
Is that right?
really,
Oh, that's right. Wow.
Prior to
That is right.
2024 career high in stolen bases is 8. He puts up 21 last year.
oh wow,
They really sent him running. He's got 1 so far. I mean, he's a good player.
He's a good player.
He's got a good swing. He's kind of a playoff performer.
Right.
If this team can get there,
Right.
which I mean, as it looks of it
They
now, we're
just-
gonna have 4 NL West teams in
It's
the
just
playoffs.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Giants
literally.
are just defense and pitching. I feel like that's kind of their MO. So
And that helps with that.
yeah.
They kind of want to build their team from the middle out, from being solid defensively out. Because when they were the championship Giants, they had Brandon Crawford in the middle of the field. They had Buster Posey in the middle of the field. I don't know if Hunter Pence was their center fielder. Was it Pagan?
Might have been Angel Pagan. Might have been Gregor Blanco.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was a pretty young cat back then. But
It was one of those.
didn't
two.
stay up for the West Coast games.
It's fair. That's I mean, it's hard to. It's
Yeah.
hard to.
Yeah, the Giants have been good though.
No, the Giants have been really good.
what else do we got here?
Do we
You-
want to? What's up?
Let's talk about what's going on since opening day.
Yeah, the first week here.
Our first point here is that the AL Central is horrendous, and me and Kevin have talked about this since
Way
we
too
started
much.
making this podcast, and our point is being proven extremely well right now.
Yeah.
And
Look at the standings.
I mean, goodness,
The Tigers are 5-4.
there goes
everyone
my
else
first
is-
place team.
Everyone else is
I'm-
under 500.
Yeah. It's just such an ugly division. Like, nothing really exciting is going on here. Like, the Twins pitching is, like, abysmal.
The Twins
They
are
blew a
imploding.
6-run lead yesterday after the 7th inning. Man. You go, Kevin, and I'll get into
The Twins are imploding. Ryan was right, being the low man, that something always just goes wrong with them.
Yeah.
It's already happened. They're just not playing that well, even though they have a good roster. The Royals are 4-5. Cleveland's 3-6, which Cleveland's usually kind of the team that you can bank on, which it's 3-6. It's the first 9 games of the season. But it's something that you have to consider, that they look significantly worse on paper as a roster than they have in years past. And you think maybe the Tigers will be 83-79 or 84-78, and
Make the
that'll
playoffs.
be enough.
I mean, it's very possible right now. I'm looking at offensive standings, and in terms of OPS, the best in the Central is the Cleveland Guardians at 16, with a 700 team OPS, and then it goes Brewers at 22. Wait, no, that's not in the right division.
But I
Wait,
mean,
hold
they're
on. All
honestly-
right, I was looking at the wrong teams. Tigers are at 4, so there's that. But then you got like the White Sox down there at 25. You got the Twins down there at 29.
Wow.
Yeah, not great. Royals at 21. So
Yeah, I mean, to me, I didn't want to ruffle any feathers,
Yeah.
but it's both Central divisions to me. I mean,
Yeah.
that's where I kind of start to get into the conversation of doing something about spending, about all this deferred money.
Yeah, no, this is what it's been for the last few years.
Because seemingly most of the small markets, although they're some of the most historic baseball franchises, are in the Central divisions. There's just some sort of there's just something going on, and I don't know the answer to it, but yeah, I mean, it's tough when the Detroit Tigers are making the playoffs last year. They had a great year and they have some great ball players, but if you're getting a like 130 games of Matt Vierling. I mean, we gotta
Homegrown Philly.
Yeah, I mean, I love him, but we gotta get the checkbook out and start cutting some bigger checks.
Yeah. You almost have to have the conversation about like a price floor.
Right.
It's like, what are we doing if we're I think the Mariners are like the best example where it's like they have so much talent and they're just not willing to spend any money. And it's like, go spend your money. Go win some games. Like, your team is not bringing in like negative income. We've shown that little income chart. Actually, I think I still have it pulled up.
Also, while you pull that up, this would be a great time for one of the middling Central Division teams to really make a move. And maybe because you're not the best team in the world, you can't sign the biggest free agent, but maybe you sign 2 or 3 solid free agents.
Yeah.
The Tigers were in on Alex Bregman for a long time this offseason. And if there was more incentive for owners to kind of shell out those contracts, which I think winning baseball games should be enough incentive. I think it's kind of crazy how that's not how it works. But if there was, then maybe we wouldn't be looking at the NL Central the same, or the AL Central.
The Mariners are 23rd on that chart, where they had $396 million of 2023 revenue, which is more than the Mets. And they spent $160 million of it on their payroll. And they haven't really increased
low
it
percentage
much.
there.
That's 40.4%. That's not great. Spend your money. There should be a price floor of like, because of how much revenue these teams are making, like $150 million, 180. You got to spend your money in today's market. I mean, maybe there's a way where you get rid of deferred money because, I mean,
that's getting out of hand a little bit.
It's getting out of hand a little bit. I mean, you make the argument that anybody can do it, which is very true. But
and here's the thing too is, I know that we're talking, $60 million a year in deferred money for some guys, but that's a better deal for with our background and because we're not just athletes, we're student athletes. Our background in some of the finance. Like that's
some of our coursework, perhaps.
Right. That's $60 million that Shohei's going to get in 2085. That's it's not going to be worth as much then.
Yeah.
That's $60 million.
Good old future value there.
Yeah. That's. I mean, it's just simply not. And I think that the salary floor idea is more plausible than a cap.
I agree.
Just in terms of, really trying to prevent, what is it, the 2026 when the CBA's up?
Yeah, it's within the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Because
I think it is next year.
People are saying there's going to be a strike.
Well, if they induce a cap, the players are not going to play.
Yeah.
Because Tony Clark and
I
don't even know who the president. Max Scherzer, the president of the organization now. Like they will not play if there's a cap because it'll put a limit on the fact that salaries are going up.
Right.
Inflation also goes up. Salaries should go up.
Right.
And then salaries will stop going up. And the players make the money.
Players make the money.
The players make the money for the organization.
It's the players, yeah.
That's the on-field product.
No, it is.
Yeah.
The owners don't hit home runs and punch guys out.
No.
Spend your money, owners. You have like billions of dollars.
No, seriously.
We got about 10 minutes left.
Yep.
I would love to talk about the Braves.
I would love to talk about the Braves.
I would enjoy
talk about the Braves too.
talking about
You guys would like to talk about the Braves right now.
the Yankees. I'd want to touch on the Mets pitching for like 30 seconds because, oh my goodness. And then we can talk about something fun like torpedo bats or like Kyle Tucker or something like that.
Get the Mets pitching out
or
of the way.
anybody in the NL or AL Central trading for Alec Boehm and giving us a prospect.
We could do that.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Mets pitching for a second,
give me
right?
like 1 second to pull up like Five Nights statistics. Team.
Alec Boehm to the Royals.
Alec Boehm to anybody, honestly, because like
Alec Boehm to Pittsburgh.
It's so frustrating watching him just throw temper tantrum after tantrum.
Alec Boehm to the Tigers.
Why is this website so weird? All right.
For Max Clark.
So, The Mets have our second in current team ERA right now, and
Well, that's good.
me and Kev talked about this a lot, and we didn't really love the rotation here from the Mets. It's been great so far, but it's probably not going to be super sustainable. Batted ball luck has been fortunate for us, and some of these guys are getting strikeouts, but a lot of them are like walking a lot. But the bullpen is really just the star of the show. You got Oscar Brazoban, 0 ERA,
There's
Diaz,
a name.
0 ERA, Reed Garrett, 0 ERA, Jose Buto, 1.69, Max Kranick has retired 21 of his 23 batters that he's, or 21 of 22 or 21 of 23. I saw a tweet
That's
this morning.
sweet.
Seems pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Sweet.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's
And then
pretty
Ryan
good.
Stanek also has a 0 ERA. The bullpen is literally the only reason the Mets have 5 or 6 wins right now, whatever it is.
I think it might be 5 and 4 or so.
Yeah, or 6 and 3, one of the two.
Mets are 6 and 3.
And it's all attributed to the pitching right now. The offense is like third to last or something like that. But the pitching is like phenomenal. So
Yeah, the bullpen has been helping out.
if Minter can figure it out a little bit, because his ERA isn't looking too hot, but I mean he's only had what 4 appearances, so not too bad. He'll figure it out. Hopefully Danny Young figures it out too, so we have a little bit of lefty depth in there. But yeah, I mean,
it kind of takes some time for these things to settle. I mean, any time that your
yeah,
bullpen, because at the point of every major league team season, the bullpen becomes an issue, whether it's a imploding issue or it's a consistency issue.
yeah,
And the Red Sox bullpen's been good, not great so far, but seeing your bullpen get off to a good start is one of the safer feelings that you get as a fan.
Yeah.
Because you get a sense of confidence in the middle innings watching a game that your team's not going to blow it.
Yeah.
And that could be really helpful for a Mets team that with a rotation might be going into games being down 4-3 in the 5th or a 5-5 game in the 7th. And the rotation's been really good so far, but also that's another thing that we have to see if it's sustainable over these next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Which, if it is, the Mets are going to be right there with the Phillies and maybe with the Braves for the whole year.
But the Braves.
But the Braves.
But the Braves, I mean,
The Braves can't hit the broadside of the barn.
no.
The Braves have a 193 team batting average.
Jesus.
The Braves get on base 28% of the time.
It's not going to move the needle there.
The Braves WRC plus
Probably
is
a healthy bit below league average.
Like
is
80?
66.
Oh my gosh.
And they've accumulated negative -0.5 WAR
As a group.
Oh.
on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
That doesn't win.
No.
And they're striking out 27% of the time.
And this is
Wow.
not a bad lineup.
No.
Like, I know
It's not a
Acuna's
bad
not in
lineup.
it. Profar got suspended. But this is still not a bad group.
No.
So if these guys aren't the ones that are going to be able to figure it out, I don't know who will.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's strange too because one thing you expect from the Braves, regardless of who is on the team, is that they're going to bang the ball around a little bit.
Yeah.
The position players are going to show up and do their job.
Right. So this is kind of an interesting twist because, from what I've been hearing, at least with their staff, while not great,
Spencer Schwellenbach has done it a little bit.
done
He
his
is
job.
the truth. He is so good.
He throws like 9 pitches for a strike.
14 scoreless innings out of that cat so far.
Yeah, that works.
That's pretty good. And I think, I don't know. I mean,
14 Ks to 1 walk.
it'll be interesting as we kind of weather starts to heat up, the ball starts to fly a little bit
Right.
more down in Atlanta.
The humid air.
The humid air. Man,
Hopefully people will show up to the park for them.
right,
I mean,
Yeah.
they're Braves fans. I bet they will.
right. It's just
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Or
but-
Easter.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wonder if they have an answer. I wonder what's going through their minds
I mean,
because
if
this is
You feel like the answer's got to come from something going internally, and the pitching is thin. That's something that Ryan and I
Yeah.
made note of when we were going through all the teams for the season. Is the rotation is not Freed and Soroka and a Goen Ian Anderson
Right.
like
it used to be.
like it used to be. Like you got Chris. Ronaldo Lopez was a very easy regression candidate for 2025, honestly.
Yeah.
Even though his 2024 was so good.
Now he's getting arthroscopic shoulder surgery.
Yeah. So nothing has bounced the Braves' way so far this year. Also, their guys that are on the field have not been performing well. Acuna and Strider will be back hopefully soon. Acuna maybe sooner, hopefully by the end of the month. But at this point,
I mean, the jerks in Profar,
yeah, that's bad news.
that throws a wrench in a lot of things because
Yeah.
he won't be available for the playoffs
Yeah.
if they make it, if they become the first team to ever start a season 0-7 and make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's honestly, it's still possible.
It's definitely still possible.
It
I
is.
mean, with how many wild cards you get these days,
Right. You could win. Maybe it's tougher in the NL. I mean, if they were in the AL,
Right.
maybe they could win 86 and be in.
right?
Yeah.
You probably can't win 86 and be in here, but
No.
you can win more. You can still win more than 86 with this team,
Right.
with these
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, it's
I think one thing we kind of discounted about this team, though, at the beginning of the year is a little bit what we talked about with the Phillies, where it's like it's a lot of the same group, but they're just kind of aging. Like
Yeah.
Ozzy doesn't look as explosive as he used to be, and Marcelo Zuna is
Old.
34, and there's no shot he repeats production from last year. I mean, that was a career year but on every front, and he kind of carried the offense, honestly. And then Matt Olson is 31 now. Austin Riley's still 28, but he's kind of a bigger dude, so like the big
Yeah.
guys kind of crumble a little bit
Yeah.
quicker.
You-
And then Sean Murphy's coming back from IL, but he's always on that freaking thing. So
Yeah, seriously.
um,
Chris Sale's old.
yeah,
You kind of ask yourself what you get of Matt Olson. Like, is Matt Olson going to be back to being the guy that can be top 5 in home
Right.
runs and RBIs and carry the team?
yeah,
Or is he going to end up being that guy that had 3 insane years, 1 for the A's, 2 for the Braves, and then kind of just turned to mid-sauce?
right.
Right.
To be another guy.
Right.
yeah, totally.
Because that 56 home run year you had. or
Yeah, that was
whatever,
insane.
That was unbelievable. Felt like every time the Phils played him, he was hitting something hard,
Yeah,
driving in runs at a big spot.
yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know the answer. I'm sure they don't know the answer either.
No, I don't
As
think
of
so.
right now.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
We were up here on the end a couple minutes ago. Do you guys have any big impressions on the torpedo bat so far? Quinn is a hitter. He plays right field.
Yes.
Have you seen anything on the torpedo bat so far
I
that
think
you like?
they're genius.
Yeah.
I think when you go, I've heard about the Marucci Victus Bat Labs they have, and they get all the sensors hooked up, and they see where on the bat you're hitting the ball the most.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy.
It's helpful.
So if you're a guy that uses more of kind of the more hands part of the barrel, I mean, why wouldn't you use it?
Yeah.
Right.
Why, like, it makes your almost like misses pretty much. Like when you get like catch a ball off the hands, like that's a miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And turning that into
A barrel.
an Anthony Volpe backside home run at
Yeah.
Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, literally.
use it. But
Yeah,
for-
seriously. Just
but-
do it.
Right. But for other guys, like, I know, like, myself as a hitter, I use a lot of the barrel, like,
Right.
top
I don't
to
know.
bottom.
I don't know if it would be as
No, like,
helpful for you because you
no.
don't get it off the hands much.
No, like, it's different because like the end of a barrel is still very reactive, and can still put a hurting on a baseball.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's genius. I think if you are the right type of hitter for it, I don't think it is what is causing the Yankees to be so good.
No.
I think the Yankees
They just have good players.
are really good. I think the Yankees know how to hit, and I think that's what you get with the Yankees.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my kind of take on it.
Yeah, the baseball bat guys, those YouTube guys, they did a whole review on like the turn models, and they're like, I don't really notice a difference. So like, there's gonna be some people that like they kind of hit it square in the middle of the barrel every time. They're not gonna notice a difference if they pick up a torpedo bat, but it'll be interesting to see like how the game evolves around these things, because like, are these guys gonna just start getting fed off speed so that they hit it off the end of the barrel? You know, are they just gonna pitch to them normally, and are they just gonna continue to hit bombs off the hands? But you know, we'll see. The Yankees are good. They're like the one team right now where you can like see the chemistry on the field.
They're number
You're
one
like,
in runs scored.
They scored like 70-something runs.
Yeah, they're number one in runs scored.
And with their injuries, they might. We'll see if that's sustainable in terms of at least pitching. But
the lineup has been
the lineup,
sick so far.
It's pretty fun to watch, as much as I really don't like the Yankees that much. But
first in wins above replacement, also from their position player group. I wonder how far this goes. Like, is 1 out of every 2 big leaguers swinging at torpedo bats? Are we getting torpedo bats at the 10U tournaments at USA Stadium in Millington?
No.
Yeah, but are we? Maybe not now, but in 10 years from now.
Well, the problem is,
how deep does this go?
Maybe
the
like
problem
the
is
17U tournaments.
the bat companies. I mean, obviously, you're gonna start selling the torpedo bats because Chandler, Victus, Marucci, Louisville Slugger, they've all put out their version of the torpedo bat on their website already.
Yeah, jeez.
And I mean, obviously, the 15 of you kids going to WWBA in the dead of summer.
They're gonna want to show out.
They're gonna want to have a torpedo bat, and they don't even know if it works for them. They just want to say they have the torpedo bat.
It looks funny.
It looks funny. I mean, but here's the thing, though, is like I really feel like if you really got one with the torpedo bat, like kind of towards the little hands part where it's starting to taper off towards the logo, like you would just crank something.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty euphoric experience right there.
Yeah. All right, I think we got to run here.
Yeah.
We're up to time.
We got Michael J. LaRosa's class together.
We have Professor LaRosa. We're coming to class.
Shout out Professor LaRosa. That was real fun.
Thank you guys for having me.
I'm glad we had you on. That was tremendous.
This was a pleasure.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Peace.